Hello, welcome to my video. This is the video for midterm exam of the subject organizational behavior and it contains two parts. First is about the answering questions related to theory that was learned in class and critical thinking questions. The second part is about reviewing my friend's presentation and for video related with OB. So let's get started. First part, questions that related with the theory. Question number 1. Define organizational behavior according to three experts and interpret their definition in your own words. According to Gary Jones, organization behavior is social inventions for accomplishing goals through group efforts. Then, according to Kate Davis and Newstorm, OB is the study and application of knowledge about people act within the organization. It is a human tool for human benefits. Then, according to Mitra, OB is action, reaction, interaction, and counteraction of people in the organization. And then, according to Stephen Robbins, OB is a field of study that investigates the impact that individual, group, and structure have on behavior within organization for the purpose of applying such knowledge towards improving an organization effectiveness. And then the last, according to Fred Luton, OB is directly concerned with the understanding, prediction, and control of human behavior. So, in my own word, organizational behavior is the study of the behavior of the individuals or groups towards their work in the organization in order to achieve the desired result. Question number 2. What are the three levels of analysis in our OB model? Are they related? If so, how? What disciplines are involved in OB? What do each discipline contribute to OB? There are three level analysis in organizational behavior, such as first is individual. Discipline major that dominant at this level is psychology. Individuals working in organization are the building blocks for group formation. They are very different in nature. In reality, organizations are the purposeful or association of individuals. The individual level analysis includes the characteristics and behavior of employees, as well as the thought processes that are attributed to them, such as motivation, perception, personality, attitude, and values. It deals with individual level analysis of characteristics like creativity, motivation, performance, ethics, deviant and cooperative behavior, and productivity. And then, second is group. Discipline major that contributing at this level are sociology, social psychology, and anthropology. Most of the individuals work in a group or team. A group is defined as two or more individuals interacting and interdependent who have come together to achieve particular objectives. Groups can be either formal or informal. Group level analysis focuses at the way people interact. This level includes group dynamics, decision, power, organization politics, conflict, leadership, and communication. Analysis at a group level comprises detailed appraisal of intergroup disagreements, interpersonal communication, composition of hierarchy, and other group-centric parameters. Then, the last level is organization system. Discipline major that contributing at this level are sociology, anthropology, and political science. When groups are combined together, they constitute an organization. The focus of analysis at this level is on how people structure their working relationship as well as on how organizations interact with their external environment force. Major variables for analysis are organization structure, culture, power and politics, and change and development. This level comprises a detailed analysis of an organization culture, values, inter-organizational conflicts, and environmental variables. Basically, all factors that impact an organization growth are covered. And I think there is no relationship between those three levels of analysis because each level of analysis explains different aspects of individual behaviors in different levels. And then, disciplines that involve in organizational behavior. First is psychology. The science of six of measure explain and sometimes change the behavior of humans in a particular situation and predict action of individuals. By studying this, can improve personal skills, bring change in attitude, and develop positive approach to organizational systems. Various psychological tests are conducted in the organization for selection of employees, measuring personality, attitudes, and aptitude. Various other dimensions of human personality are also measured. And then sociology studies people in relation to their social environment or culture. The study of people in relation to their fellow human beings. Sociologists have contributed to OB to their study of group behavior in organizations, particularly formal and complex organizations. And then, next discipline is social psychology. Social psychology generally considered a branch of psychology, blends concepts from both psychology and sociology to focus on people's influence on one another. Working organizations are formal assembly of people who assign specific jobs and play a vital role in formulating human behavior. Next discipline is anthropology. Anthropology is the study of societies to learn about human beings and their activities. It is a field of study relating to human activities in various cultural and environmental frameworks. It understands difference in behavior based on value systems of different cultures of various countries. Then the last discipline is political science. Political science has contributed to the field of organizational behavior. Stability of government at national level is one major factor for promotion of international business, financial investment, expansion, and employment. Various government rules and regulations play a very decisive role in growth of the organization. All organizations have to abide by the rules of the government of the day. Then, question number 2. What is attribution theory? What are its implications for explaining behavior in organization? Attribution theory explains how and why ordinary people explain the things as they do. Everybody tries to make sense in this social world. People try to find the cause and effect even if they are in norm. Attribution theory is the study which comes under the social psychology. Attribution theory suggests that when we observe an individual behavior, we attempt to determine whether it was internally or externally caused. That determination depends largely on three factors: distinctiveness, consensus, and consistency. And then question number 4. One day your boss comes in and he is nervous, edgy, and argumentative. Next, he is calm and relaxed. Does this behavior suggest that personality traits are not consistent from day to day? Support your answer with the theory you have studied in OB. From the theory that I have studied in OB, personality traits are not consistent from day to day. It is because human behavior can be influenced by emotions and moods. Emotions will lead to a specific mood of someone. If that person has positive emotions such as joy, happiness, and enthusiasm, then that person will more likely to have good moods, such as feeling excited, relaxed, calm, and happy. But if that person has negative emotions, such as anger, fear, frustration, hate, and sadness, then that person will more likely have bad moods, such as nervous, stressed, sad, and bored. Each person may change its mood every day because moods can be influenced by many things, such as environment, partner in work, the job that the person handles, motivation, and many others. That's why personality traits are not consistent from day to day. Question number 5. What is the relationship between job satisfaction and absenteeism? Job satisfaction and turnover? Which is stronger relationship? Support your explanation with the previous research. Absenteeism can be a major problem for organizations. As pressure increases on the budget and competitiveness of companies, more attention is being given to reduce workplace absenteeism and its costs. Job satisfaction has been noted as one of the factors influencing an employee's motivation to attend. Studies on the relationship between absenteeism and job satisfaction seem to be inconsistent. This study attempts to address the problem of stress and burnout in hospital nurses by exploring factors which affect job satisfaction and the relationship between this and absence rate. 50 nurses working in the elderly care unit of a district general hospital were asked to complete a job satisfaction questionnaire, specifically developed to include factors appropriate to the study, together with Maslow's burnout inventory and Beck's hopelessness scale. The hypothesis that job satisfaction is related to absenteeism was not supported. However, significant correlation between some variables were isolated. These correlations were tested using experiments with correlation coefficient. It is hoped that the job satisfaction questionnaire will become a useful instrument in screening those at risk of burnout and a diagnostic aid to help consider the factors which affect job satisfaction. The implications of the study point to the need for the prevention of stress from environmental factors by the adoption of organizational strategies to promote positive working conditions and the development of coping strategies in the form of stress awareness seminars, regular staff support groups, and counseling services. Question number 6. What can firms do to create more motivating environments for the employees? Give some examples to your report. There are some programs that the company can do in order to create more motivating environments for the employees. First simple thing is to greet the employee in the morning. By greeting them, the employees will feel they are respected by the company. Second is they must acknowledge their employees' achievement and give them rewards for their effort. With the company acknowledge the employees' work, then the employees will feel that the job they do is meaningful, and the employees will even more motivated to do the job. Third is the company can create a good environment work for their employees. The company can give the employees a good chair and table, a good computer, a good restroom, and also build a comfortable canteen for the employees can interact more with each other. The last thing the company can do to motivate their employees is to give promotion to the employees that deserve the promotion. And then the last question. Explain the Maslow hierarchy of needs theory, ERG theory, McClelland's theory of needs, motivation hygiene theory, and how are they related to one another. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a motivational theory in psychology that argues that while people aim to meet basic needs, they seek to meet successfully higher needs. There are 5 needs in Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. They are physiological, safety, belongingness, self-esteem, and self-actualization. Then, ERG theory is bring Maslow's need hierarchy theory of motivation in synchronization with empirical research. Clayton Alderfer redefined it in his own terms. His reward is called as ERG theory of motivation. He recategorized Maslow's hierarchy of needs into 3 simple and broader classes of needs. First is existence needs. This includes need for basic material necessities. In short, it includes an individual physiological and physical safety needs. And then second, relatedness needs. This includes the aspiration individuals have for maintaining significant interpersonal relationships, getting public fame and recognition, Maslow's social needs and external component of esteem needs fall under this class of needs. The last is growth needs. This includes need for self-development and personal growth and advancement. Maslow's self-actualization needs and intrinsic component of esteem needs fall under this category of needs. Then, McClelland's theory of needs. There are three needs that described in this theory. Need for achievement is to drive, to excel, to achieve in relationship to a set of standards. Need for power is the need to make others behave in a way they would not have otherwise. And need for affiliation is the desire for friendly and close interpersonal relationships. Hygiene factors are thus job factors which are essential for existence of motivation at workplace. These do not lead to positive satisfaction for long term. But if these factors are absent or if these factors are non-existent at workplace, then they lead to dissatisfaction. In other words, hygiene factors are those factors which, when adequate or reasonable in a job, pacify the employees and do not make them satisfied. These factors are extrinsic to require to avoid dissatisfaction. These factors describe the job environment or scenario. The hygiene factors symbolize the physiological needs which the individuals wanted and expected to be fulfilled. And then we move to the part questions for critical thinking. Number 1. OB is for everyone. Build an argument to support this statement. OB is the study of the behavior of individuals and groups toward their job within an organization. OB tries to understand the diverse behavior of the employees as it is influencing the way they carry the job, whether serious or not. So OB is of course can be for everyone, not only for the employees that work in an organization, but can be also for students, teachers, doctors, and many more. For students, OB can help them to achieve a good score in class, and also help them to socialize with their friends. OB also help doctors to know how to handle its patient with care, and OB also help teachers to understand the behavior of its students. So OB can be used for everyone, not just for employees. Question number 2. Give some examples of situations where expressing emotions openly might improve job performance. The examples of situations where expressing emotions openly might improve job performance. Let's say there is a woman named Lisa who works as a nurse in a hospital. She works as a nurse because it was her dream and also her passion. Then, when she do the work at the hospital, she as a nurse want to help the ill people with so much care as it is her family. She let out her caring emotion to the patient so that she treats well the patient, hoping that person will feel better after the treatment. So, the way she expresses the emotion will make her doing the job enjoyable and not a burden or just an obligation. Thus, she improves her job performance because she loves to do her job. Question number 3. Managers should do everything they can to enhance the job satisfaction of the employees. Do you agree or disagree? Support your position. Job satisfaction is the positive feeling towards the result of the performance of an employee. Managers should do everything they can to enhance the job satisfaction of the employees to avoid problems such as leaving employees and low performance employees. Managers can do some acts to enhance the job satisfaction of the employees such as giving promotion, give reasonable salary, setting reasonable goals, create a good work environment, and give them work securities. By doing that, the job satisfaction can be achieved and resulting in high performance employees. Question number 4. Identify 3 activities that you really enjoy and identify also 3 activities you really dislike. Using expectancy theory, weigh each of your answers to assess why some activities stimulate your effort while others doesn't. The three activities that I like are watching movies, reading news in internet, and listening to music. Then the three activities that I don't like are going out, debate with others, and reading novels. Based on expectancy theory, I think that the three activities that I like will help me as a student. By watching movies and reading news in internet, honestly, I can learn something. I can learn English, especially the vocabulary and grammar, also improve my knowledge. Then, by listening to music, it helps me to get relaxed and I will have good mood. Then for the three activities that I don't like, I expect it won't give me any benefits as it is only wasting my time and energy. Question number 5. How is OB applied in your life as a student in a university, as an employee in a workplace, and as an employer? As a student in a university, OB can help me to study well in the university. By applying OB, I as a student will know how to behave as a student. A good behaved student will always come to the class, listen to the lecturer explanation, and understand the subject well. OB also will help me to socialize with my classmates as they have different behavior. As an employee, by applying OB, me as an employee will know how to motivate myself to do the job so that I can get the desired result. Then also as an employee, OB will help me to build a relationship with my partner and my manager as a group work. Last, as an employer, applying OB will help me to know and understand the behavior of the employees. By understanding their behavior, then I will know how to act to each of the employees and know how to motivate them more. And then we move to the part 2. In this part, you are to answer the questions to your friends' presentation and videos posted in group and WhatsApp. Number 1. Please mention the titles of topics that have been presented in the class and mention the names of the students presenting the topic. How do you find their presentation? Mastery and speech or communication? What lesson can you get from each topic which they have presented? Explain them. There are 9 presentations up until now, including me and my senior explaining the chapter 7 about motivation concept. So I will review the other 8 presentations. Overall, their presentation is good and each of them mastering their own chapter and explain them well. Most of them also give me rewards for those that can answer the questions given. So let's get started with the first topic. The first topic is what is organizational behavior, presented by Amanda and Luna. Organizational behavior is a field of study that investigates the impact that individuals, groups, and structures have on behavior within organizations. For the OB is essential to learn for all people to help understand the diverse behavior of humans. There are some disciplines that contribute in OB, such as psychology, sociology, and anthropology. Psychology contributes in explaining the change of human behavior. Sociology contributes in explaining the relationship between people and its environment. And the last, anthropology, contributes in explaining human activities. The second topic is diversity in organizations, presented by Etha and Miriam. We cannot avoid the diversity, especially in an organization, because all people that work there come from different backgrounds. As a manager, he or she should recognize the diversity to avoid discrimination. There are 2 levels of diversity. First is surface level diversity that look at characteristics such as gender, race, ethnicity, and age. Then there is deep level diversity that look differences in values and personalities. Managers should implement a good diversity management strategies from attracting, selecting, developing, and retaining diverse employees. The third topic is attitudes and job satisfaction presented by Indri and Andre. There are three main components of attitude. First is cognitive component, which is a belief in the way things are. This cognitive component will lead to affective component, which is the emotional segment of an attitude. Finally, affective component will lead to a behavioral component, which is the intention to behave in a certain way toward someone. And the next topic is about job satisfaction, which is the positive feeling of the employee toward the job. Managers should care about the job satisfaction by giving the employees motivation, such as giving promotion, give reasonable salary, and setting reasonable goals. The more the employees satisfied, the more they engage in the job. Fourth topic is emotion and moods presented by Masita and Pandu. Emotion is the intense feeling that are directed at someone. Emotions caused by specific events and only last for a short time. Meanwhile, mood is less intense than emotion and often caused by general events. Moods last longer than emotion. Positive emotion and mood will lead to an effective decision making, but negative emotion and mood will lead to an irrational decision making. Fifth topic is personality and values presented by Rianti and Reno. Personality is the way in which an individual reacts to and interacts with others. There are two models of personality. There are the Myers-Briggs type indicator and the Big Five personality model. Then there is value, which is the basic conviction that socially preferable to an opposite mode of existence. There are two kinds of value. First is terminal values and the second is instrumental values. Sixth topic is perception and individual decision making presented by Leah and Erickson. Perception is a process by which individuals organize and interpret sensory impression in order to give meaning to the environment. Perception is important in OB because people behavior is based on their perception of what reality is. Perception can affect individual decision making. When someone wants to do decision making, they need many information from all sources. Then that person needs to interpret the information and evaluate all the alternative decisions. This is where someone's perception is used to choose the best alternative. Eighth topic is motivation from concept to application, presented by Tiara and Kusni. Motivating employees can be done by job design. Job design is the way the elements in a job are organized. The manager can do job rotation, job enrichment, and job enlargement. By motivating the employees, manager hopes that the employees will have a high job involvement that resulting in a good performance. The other to motivate the employee is by giving them reward. Managers should recognize the employees' work and give them reward based on their achievement. Last topic, the name topic is Foundation of Group Behavior presented by Daniel and Karim. Group is two or more individuals interacting and interdependent who have come together to achieve particular objectives. There are 5 stages of group based on the 5-stage model. First is forming stage, second is storming stage, third is norming stage, fourth is performing stage, and the last stage is adjourning stage. The interesting part of group is the decision-making process. Making decision in group, it generates more complete information and knowledge, thus resulting in a good quality decision-making. But good decision-making also takes a good amount of time, which is the drawback of making decisions in group. And then, number 2, have you watched the video post in Facebook and WhatsApp group? You must watch at least 4 videos in group of Facebook and WhatsApp. Mention the title of the video. What does the speaker talk about in the video? Explain in your own words. And what lesson can you get from watching 4 videos on OB? First video is about organizational citizenship behavior. OCB is a perspective that employees have whereby they extend behavior beyond the normal duties of their position. The work behavior can be seen in terms of in-role and extra-role behavior. A high extra-role behavior means a high OCB. High OCB related to high performance and less need for hierarchical control. There are 5 common types of OCB, which are altruism, courtesy, sportsmanship, conscientiousness, and the last is civic virtue. The examples of OCB are helping others on one work team, volunteering for extra job activities, and avoiding unnecessary conflicts. Second video is about organizational change management. Every company that has become big might want to have a change in the company. Some of the factors that make a change in the company are merger, acquisition, privatization, e-commerce, and digital convergence. Change is a process that can be enabled and must be linked to business and performance. An effective process requires a systemic view of the organization and must involve both organizational and personal transition. But the company that wants to change must consider the constraints from its individual and organization. Individual constraints from change are habit, economic factors, job security, fear of the unknown, and selective information processing. Organizational constraints from change are threat to establish power relationship, threat to establish resource allocation, structural inertia, limited focus of change, and growth inertia. Third video is about organizational culture. Organizational culture is a system of shared meaning held by members that distinguish the organization from other organizations. There are 7 characteristics of organizational cultures. They are innovation and risk-taking, attention to detail, outcome orientation, people orientation, team orientation, aggressiveness, and the last is stability. To create the culture, it starts from the founders. Founders create culture in 3 ways. First is by hiring and keeping those who think and feel the same way they do. Second is indoctrinating and socializing those employees to their way of thinking and feeling. And the last is acting as a role model and encouraging employees to identify with them. The last 4th video is about corporate social responsibility. CSR is the continuing commitment by businesses to behave ethically and contribute to economic development, while improving the quality of life of the workforce and their families, local communities, and the society at large. CSR requires companies to acknowledge that they should be publicly accountable, not only for their financial performance but also for their social and environmental record. CSR should promote human rights, democracy, community improvement, and sustainable development objectives throughout the world. So I think that's all for the midterm exam question of organizational behavior. I hope that what I have explained to you is clear and understandable. Thank you for watching and see you again. Bye bye.